The Zodiac Killer is known as one of the most infamous serial killers in U.S. history, causing fear throughout California in the late 1960s. Even though he was behind a number of murders from 1968 to 1969, no one knows who he really is. At least 5 murders in the San Francisco Bay Area are linked to the Zodiac Killer. The first 2 victims were high school students, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday. They were killed on December 20th, 1968, near Lake Herman Road. Then in July 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were attacked at Blue Rock Springs Park, where Ferrin was killed, but Mageau survived to describe the attacker. One of the most alarming events happened on September 27, 1969, when the Zodiac confronted Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard at Lake Berryessa. He came up to them wearing a hood and waving a gun, ultimately stabbing Hartnell and killing Shepard. The last confirmed victim was cab driver Paul Stein, who was murdered on October 11, 1969. The Zodiac Killer didn't just commit violent crimes, but also sent letters to local newspapers that taunted law enforcement and the public. These letters included coded messages, with 4 different ciphers being sent during his active years. The most notable was the Z340 cipher, which stayed unsolved until 2020 when some cryptographers cracked it. However, it still didn't reveal who the killer was. Over the years, police have identified only one main suspect, Arthur Lee Allen, who used to be an elementary school teacher. However, he passed away in 1992 without any solid connections to the murders. There are lots of other theories out there with various people mentioned as possible suspects, but no one has ever been definitively identified. The Zodiac Killer's case has turned into a cultural phenomenon, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and movies. It shows how fascinated we are with unsolved mysteries. The killer's cryptic messages and how he managed to avoid capture have made him a legendary figure in true crime stories, attracting amateur sleuths and curious folks eager to find answers. Even after so many years of investigation, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the greatest mysteries that captures public interest and sparks ongoing efforts to solve his horrible crimes.